The safety of our visitors, employees, and contractors is our primary concern. We have prepared this video to familiarize you with the safety practices that we use to meet this goal and to answer any questions that you may have about the potential hazards that may exist. If you have any specific questions after viewing this video, please contact your Veolia host. Sign in and sign out procedures. All visitors and contracted employees must sign in and out each time they enter or depart the facility. A tablet with the Sign In app is located at the receptionist desks 24/7. Access to enter and exit the facility with vehicles and equipment is limited to the code control gates on the south side of the main office. Access may only be granted by Veolia management or a receptionist who will open the gate after sign-in is completed. Please do not forget to sign out when you depart. We invite visitors to use our main lobby if they need a place to wait or take a break. While on site, all visitors and contracted employees must follow Veolia's life-saving rules. Please take a few moments after the conclusion of this video to review our life-saving rules. Emergency evacuation. In the event of an emergency requiring evacuation, an alarm will sound overhead. A sample of the emergency alarm is playing in the background. In the event of an actual emergency or simulation drill, evacuate to the safest location possible based on your proximity to the incident and the evacuation exits. The safest evacuation location is generally upwind. There are windsocks located at the top of the front gate, Tank Farm 1, the north corner of the office building, the top of the distillation column tower or the northwest corner of the facility to determine your best evacuation route. There are emergency exit gates located on the east, west, north, and south fence lines at the approximate midpoint. The yellow arrows shown here indicate these exit points. Whatever possible, the facility has designated 2 areas along the southeast of the facility perimeter towards 96th Avenue as muster areas. These areas are labeled with neon green signs as Muster Area A and Muster Area B. These areas will be used whenever possible, however, they may not always be practical. In the event that you can evacuate to a muster area, remain there until a head count has been completed and you are given permission to leave by the emergency coordinator. If you need to evacuate to a remote location, your primary goal is to take the safest route to a safe location. When possible, make contact at 96th Avenue. Personal protective equipment. We have personal protective equipment requirements for different areas of our facility. The areas outlined in purple are considered the hazardous waste active project areas. These areas of the site include the warehouse, the maintenance shop, the container storage pads, 4 tank farms, the rail spur, the thin film distillation area, and the micromotion building. At minimum, hard hats, long pants, long sleeve shirts, safety glasses, and high-vis apparel or a vest are required in the hazardous waste active project area. Additionally, steel toe boots, respirators, chemically resistant and flame retardant clothing may also be required, depending upon the work actually being performed. These additional requirements will be communicated by your Veolia contact person. Prior to all loading or unloading operations, all visitors and contracted employees are required to follow Veolia's loading and unloading policy. This policy is found as a document on the Sign In app. Process Safety Management Program. Our Henderson facility is subject to process safety management. As a result, we have access control areas. These areas are highlighted green on the map. Signs are visibly posted to indicate these areas. Access into these areas is restricted without the proper notification and approval from the employee in charge of that specific area. Process safety management is an OSHA regulation that contains requirements for preventing or minimizing the consequences of catastrophic releases of toxic, reactive, flammable, or explosive chemicals. These releases may result in toxic fire or explosion hazards. This Veolia facility is required to comply with this regulation because it handles greater than 10,000 pounds of flammable liquids in a regulated process. Distillation, tank farms, rail spur, drum pumping area, and vapor recovery systems are subject to this rule. The PSM regulation applies to contractors performing maintenance or repair turnaround, major renovation or specialty work on or adjacent to a covered process. It does not apply to contractors providing incidental services which do not influence process safety, such as janitorial work, food and drink services, laundry, delivery, or other supply services. Potential hazards at this Veolia facility. There are many signs and postings throughout our facility. Please take notice of the signs posted in the area that you are working. These signs communicate important information regarding area hazards, required PPE, and the locations of safety equipment. You will also see NFPA placards on storage tanks and in other areas. These placards consist of 4 colored diamonds. The risk is rated on the scale from 0 to 4, with 4 being the most hazardous. The blue diamond indicates the health hazard risk, the red diamond indicates the fire hazard risk, the yellow diamond indicates the reactivity hazard risk, and the white diamond indicates any special hazards. This site contains atmospheric storage tanks. The hazards involved include flammable, combustible, toxic, corrosive liquids, and vapors. These tanks are stored at ambient temperatures. This Veolia site also performs distillation. The hazards include flammable, combustible, toxic, corrosive liquids, and vapor. The system is closed and vented to a vapor recovery unit, recovering 95% of organic emissions. The distillation process is a high-temperature process that can reach temperatures up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Low rates up to 200 GPM, and relatively low pressure is up to 150 psi. Veolia shall inform contract employers of any known potential fire, explosion, or toxic release hazards related to the contractor's work and the process. Hazards include flammable gas, non-flammable gas, flammable liquids, flammable solids, spontaneously combustible, dangerous when wet, oxidizer, organic peroxide, toxic, poisonous by inhalation, corrosive acids, corrosive bases, irritants, and other regulated material. Containers are normally stored in closed conditions, except when sampling or during pumping operations. Site rules and safety equipment. Eating, drinking, and smoking is strictly prohibited in all areas of the facility outside the main offices. The wear and use of cell phones or other electronic devices is prohibited in all active project areas of the facility. Contractor vehicles necessary for the purpose of completing contracted work are allowed into the facility. However, privately owned contractor vehicles are not. All waste containers stored at this facility have a white barcode label applied to the outside. This label identifies the contents of the container, shipping information, the generator of the material, and other information. All DOT-regulated materials will also have diamond-shaped labels, which indicate the primary hazards of the material. In needed, we also have first aid equipment and first aid trained personnel on site. We have fire extinguishers, emergency eye wash, and safety shower stations located throughout the facility. Please take a moment to locate the nearest fire extinguisher, eye wash, and safety shower in the area that you will be working. Safety data sheets, as required under OSHA, are available for all non-waste hazardous materials. These include paints, aerosols, cleaners, and recycled products. Each SDS contains information regarding hazards, emergency response procedures, and other information. SDS are made electronically upon request. Hot work and confined space entry. Hot work is defined as any activity that could potentially produce a spark, act as an ignition source, involve a hot surface or heating surface, or involve an open flame. Examples of this include welding, cutting, grinding, torching, and drilling. A hot work permit is always required when performing any of these activities. Please consult the health and safety representative to request a hot work permit. Performing any hot work without a permit is strictly prohibited. Hazardous energy sources associated with machinery and equipment include electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, and mechanical stored energy. When performing maintenance on any piece of equipment, please contact the maintenance department to lock out the equipment before beginning work. This includes work on electrical lines, heaters, electric motors, pumps, valves, flanges, and pipes. A confined space is any space large enough to enter, has limited means for entry or exit, is not designed for continuous occupancy, or a space that could contain or produce a hazardous atmosphere. Confined spaces are marked with a danger sign and should never be entered for any reason without permission from the health and safety representative. Confined spaces at this facility include storage tanks, the cooling tower vault, the rail spur vault, rail tank cars, and truck vac trailers. Incident reporting. If you experience or witness any kind of incident while on site, It is critical that you report it immediately to your site host. Prompt reporting helps us respond quickly, ensure everyone's safety, and take steps to prevent future incidents. Your cooperation is essential to maintaining a safe environment for everyone. Conclusion. This video was provided to ensure you are safe and compliant while working at Veolia's Henderson, Colorado facility. At this time, please see the receptionist for further instruction. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact your Veolia host. Thank you for visiting the Veolia Henderson, Colorado facility, and we hope you enjoy your visit.